Yay, what's happening, everybody? Yours truly, Mike Marino, live from my mother's basement. And we're already smiling because we already know this show is going to be fucked up. I haven't been in the basement in a couple weeks. I apologize to everybody out there. I had to go back to Los Angeles, do a couple of shows. I came here to New Jersey because I want to do live from my mother's basement. This particular podcast tonight, which is going to be off the chain when I tell you who's sitting right next to me. So look how fast everybody's writing in on Instagram.
Nice.
We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to talk all about the shows that I'm doing here this week while I'm on the East Coast, and next week when I'm back on the West Coast, and then from there on to Boston, Chicago, the whole fucking Megillah. But right now, we got to jump right into this guest. I don't even really know how this happened. But on my show right now is one of the most incredible talents. I can't even, I don't even know how, I'll let him tell you, but this is Shane Coyle, everybody. And if you could only hear the thunderous applause right now.
They're outside chanting.
Yeah, they're out.
No, that's the cops. Never mind.
We got some new equipment. We got a new camera. We got a new microphone. We got a new guest. He's wearing the best cologne. This guy smells so fucking good. He makes me want to think, that I should get that cologne. Hey. I wish I had hair. Son of a bitch.
Well, I'm using the finest juices and berries, Mike. Look, I got a acai berry, and
he's using the finest juices and berries to make sure his hair is looking good. I'm taking a pill that doesn't do the damage that his juices and whatever. Look at everybody writing in. Thank you, everybody. Let's talk to my guest, Shane Coyle. He just taped an episode of Dr. Phil.
Hell yeah.
He's getting ready to do an episode of Ellen DeGeneres. And in the midst of these two big talk show monsters, he said, you know what? Let me go on Marino's show live from his mother's basement.
Might as well, bro. And I'll tell you what, this is honestly, it's an honor to be here because, number one, as much stuff as I've done or I am doing or I'm going to do, it doesn't account even come close to the accomplishments that you've done, and not only just for the comedy stages, man, but Mike, you've made treadway and tracks in the charities and the fund, the fundraisers and stuff like that, and just the first responders alone, man. And that, my birthday September 11th, I seen the video that you did the other day, and I'm imagining you probably got bombarded with people, man. But you know what? I know, because a lot of those people, when I mention your name and stuff like that, they hit me, oh, man, Mike actually helped me out with this, and Mike did that. So, man, I salute you, man, for real. That's really an honor to be a part of even somebody that's made so many different things, man, because honestly, bro, you bleed blue and red, and you could, you could see that, man, for real. September 11th was a very serious thing, and, here we are, 20 years later, and you're still hammering down and doing things. So, and I've seen all the medals and stuff like that this man has. So
thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like I'm being interviewed.
Yeah, and it's great.
Live from his basement.
But now, fuck you. It's about me now. I'm just kidding, Mike.
I love it. All right. Rock and roll. But thank you very much. Yes.
Without a doubt, man.
In the hearts of a lot of people all around the world, 9/11 is the biggest tragedy, I think, at least in our time. Went out there, and it's very, very sad. So 18 years ago, and I did this big shout out that I wanted to make some people happy, and it worked. A lot of people wrote into the show. I sent out a lot of free T-shirts, a lot of DVDs, complimentary tickets. I'll still do it.
Yeah, that's cool, and it's people like that I want to surround myself with, Mike. You know what I mean? And when I reached out to you, and it was a blessing having you get back to me, the way you did, man. I was actually filming the Dr. Phil show in Los Angeles when you did, and it's, to have somebody of your stature to be able to mentor and help me out in this comedy thing, man, it's an honor. I'm going to share this out to my page too.
Yeah, a lot of people writing in. Some of your friends are yelling out, "Hey Shane, hey Shane."
Hell yeah. And
Shane Coyle, ladies and gentlemen, has a very, very interesting life, and we're going to get into that.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have some kind of an overwhelmingly interesting life to get on Dr. Phil and other shows like Ellen DeGeneres. So let's start from the beginning. We actually met on the internet, as a lot of people are meeting these days. Mm-hmm. He has an affection for stand-up comedy, and he liked the comedy that I was doing. And when he wrote into the show, I said, you do what? You've done who? What? Where? Holy shit, my buddy. We need to talk. So we talked on the phone. And after we started talking on the phone, we became good friends. And I said, if you want to come on my little podcast, I would love it. But please tell everybody from the voices that you do and the secret life that you lead.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what.
Like, how does it even start? Where do you start? Do you have a book?
I'll let my grandmother tell you.
Okay.
Well, dear,
Go.
it all started years ago when Shane was just a boy.
No, let me just tell you. What happened, man, is I grew up in a crazy, atmosphere in South Jersey. I was born in South Philly, grew up in a crazy atmosphere in South Jersey, always glorified everything my dad was doing, man. My dad, rest in peace, he passed away recently, and my father was always a jokester. He was always a comedian. Like, it didn't matter where we were. Be in a restaurant. I'll tell you, speaking of Ellen DeGeneres, we were in a restaurant. I'll tell you a quick story about my dad. There was two, butchy looking women. And I have nothing against gays, and my dad has nothing against gays. It's just when you're a comedian, you could poke fun at everybody. So my dad's sitting in this pizzeria, and there's these two really, I'm talking like tattooed women that look nothing like Ellen DeGeneres whatsoever, but it's obvious that they definitely, they
like each other.
You know what they do.
They're butchy.
We do it every now and then with them, but
It's all right.
But all of a sudden my dad says, "Hey, watch this." And he looks over to one and he goes, he throws on an accent. Why? Excuse me, lesbian woman. Can I ask you a question? She's looking, grunts, just lets out a grunt. He goes, "Has anyone ever told you that you look exactly like Ellen DeGeneres?" Now, the woman, she had black hair. She was huge. She looked nothing like Ellen DeGeneres, but the connotation of lesbian, my dad just hammered it home. And this lady kind of looks, didn't know whether to smile or punch him. And I just said, man, that's my dad. And that sarcastic humor I grabbed a hold of, you know what I mean? And it was like, ever since then, my dad's doing prank calls in our basement at the time. At 2 a.m, my dad would wake me up at 12, 13 years old. "Hey, come here. You want to do some prank calls with me?" "Hell yeah, Dad. I got a science test tomorrow, but forget about that. Let's call these bastards." My dad would prank call classified ads on the newspaper and people selling cars at 2 o'clock in the morning. "Hey, you selling a car? Are you aware that it's 2 o'clock in the morning? You want to sell a car or what, man? Wake up. Hurry up. Tell me about it. Give me the VIN number." He'd have the guy go outside and get them the VIN number. He said, "Never mind." You know what I mean? Just shit like that. And it's like, man, I grew up watching Dad just light these places up, and it was like, holy shit, man.
So it's like a lot of different entertainers
man,
who actually grow up impersonating their parents. Like, that's why I talk so much about my Italian family, the way my mom was, the way my father is, and the way they used to do what they do. It gets you into that. So you started doing some prank calls.
Oh, man.
And prank calls is really, really funny when we can have some fun with somebody on the other line.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, you really had to do it on the phone. Now you can actually do it on the internet, and it's actually a little bit more funny, and a lot of people could see it all at the same time.
Hell yeah, man.
So you started doing these voices.
Yeah, when I got into high school, now I've already watched my dad go from Joe Pesci to Robert De Niro to Eddie Murphy to the Charlie Brown's teacher. You know what I mean? Like, my dad just did voices and everything. Watching my dad do that, I never even tried a voice, never did nothing. But I was 16 years old. Okay, I'm in middle school, or you better be a freshman, I guess, or 16. I don't even know. I dropped out shortly, a couple months after that, so it doesn't matter. I'm in school, and I used to cut my science class every day. Third period, I'm not showing up. I'll come back fourth or fifth period. Third period, I'm not showing up. Finally, one day, my teacher comes up to me and he says, "Shane, today at 3:30, I'm calling your mom." I said, "For what?" He says, "You cut my class 6 times in a row." I said, no, I didn't know it. Well, anyway, now 3:30, my mom's working, my dad's working. I'm a latchkey kid, but I'm not going to tell Mr. Weeks, my science teacher, "Hey, no, she's not going to be home." So he goes and digs out the work number. So I'm like, okay, no problem. Now, I used to hit on my neighbors all the time. I had the Mrs. Parker next door that was so pretty when she mowed the lawn, and I figured I could go over there and smooth her and say, "Hey, now, Miss Parker, can you come over and act like my mom?" And then maybe act like a few other things while we're at it. But needless to say, she told me no. Why, I don't know. Maybe that's why I have a vendetta against, the child predatorial stuff. And then, I really wanted her to be one at me when I was 16. No, go figure. So anyway, I get to the house. Now, I got 2 of my pot smoking buddies with me. I didn't smoke pot then, but these guys just, "Oh, what's up, man? What are you going to do, bro? If he calls, like, you're screwed." I'm like, I don't know. So all of a sudden the phone rings. It's 3:30 on the dot, too. Like, this guy must have been sitting at home waiting. I'm going to get Shane. I'm going to screw him up. La, 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 la. I'm like, okay. La, la, la. Hello? "Hi, Mr. Coyle. It's Mr. Carson." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'm like, "What's up?" He says, "Where's your mom?" I said, I figure the shower. That's a great idea. I'll say she's in the shower. I say, "Oh, she's in the shower, but I'll tell her to call you." Now, give me some time to find a woman. He goes, "Okay, no, don't hang up. Just put me on the counter and I'll wait." I said, "Well, you're going to wait? You're going to wait? Okay." All right, so I put the phone down on the counter, and then again, my pot smoking buddies, they're rolling joints. Oh, you're screwed, bro. And I'm like, you know what? It just hit me. Let me just try and do. I can't do my dad's voice because I got a squealy little voice. I'm a short ass little Italian Irish little prick. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. My balls haven't even dropped yet, for Christ's sakes. So I pick up the phone, like, hey, Mom. Hold on, Mr. Carson. He's getting out, and it just came to me, Mike. I'm telling you, the voice just emulated out of my throat, like, hey, Ma. Mr. Carson, hold on, Ma. Who is it? What do you want? The voice just came out, Mike, and I'm like, and even my pot smoking buddies, they lost their high. I killed their high. They're like, whoa, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, who is it? It's Mr. Carson. You want to talk to him? All right, yeah, let me see the phone. Hold on, Mom. Give me the phone. Hello? Ma. Shut up. Hello? Hi, Mrs. Coyle. How are you? This is Mr. Carson, your son. I know who you are. I cut him off. He doesn't say, oh, this is Shane. I mean, I got the voice down pat. It was a lot more high pitched back then, too. And I got him on the hook, and he's like, okay, you know who I am. Well, I'm your son's science teacher, and he's cutting class. I said, okay, so you want me to do what? Well, I don't know. I mean, do you feel that that's something that you should address? I said, I don't know. Frankly, I don't give a damn. And he's like, well, ma'am, you know, what do you want me to do, Mr. Carson? Well, I don't know, maybe chastise him, you know, give him a little punishment. I said, okay, you said it. As soon as I hang up the phone with you, I'm going to go ahead and heat up a fork on the stove, and I'm going to burn the back of his fucking neck. Bye. And now the phone is ringing off the hook, and this guy's flew. La, 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 and I'm hanging the phone up. La, 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 no, Mom, and I'm clicking it over. I get to school the next day, Mike. I'm wearing a turtleneck. It was the 80s. I'm wearing a nice turtleneck. It's got Atlanta Falcons symbol on it. I don't know. It's probably the only one we could have gotten at Goodwill at that time. And I'm walking with a little limp. I figured I'd throw a little extra in there, like I got the shit kicked out of me. So I'm limping, and I got the turtleneck on, like I got my neck burnt with a fork by my mother, who's really a diehard CCD teacher. You know what I mean? So now the first thing that comes up to me is Mr. Carson. He says, Shane, can I talk to you? I said, man, you got me in enough trouble, man. I'd play it out, Mike. Well, they want to see you down in the office. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm getting out of class again. This is great. So I lose the limp while walking down the hallway. And I get to the big open office window in the hallway, and I see a cop. And I'm like, oh, what are the cops here for? Get a little further. There's a little old lady with a DCF Child Protective Service jacket. Oh, my God, is that my mom? My mom's in there crying. My dad's screaming, you motherfucker, I would not do nothing. You kidding me? My wife doesn't. First one to come up to me is the cop. Son, can I see the back of your neck? Real official. I said, yeah, no, go ahead. It was me, man. It was me. No, don't blame yourself, son. You ain't got any burns on your neck? I said, no, you don't understand. It was me, man. It was me. It's all my fault. All right, son, just calm down. Hold on one second. Then the next one to come up to me is the little old lady. Hello, dear. How are you? I would like to tell you who I am, dear. I'm like, okay. And I'm wondering, who is it? I don't know what DCF stands for. Maybe it's a bad abbreviation for a high school football game or something. I don't know, a college team. My name is Abigail, and I am a DCF agent of Child Protective Services. Can I see the back of your neck, dear? Now, I know Child Protective Services, like, Mom might get in trouble. I should do something, but still, no, it's nothing. It's not there. I'm okay. All right, honey. Now, do you have any other burn marks on your body? No, ma'am, you don't understand. It was me. Now, it's not your fault, dear. Don't blame yourself, honey. Your mother is in a lot of trouble.
Oh, my.
Now I'm like, you know what, lady? It was me. I was the one that talked like my mother. Now, this lady's face wrinkled up like a prune. Like she just, I don't understand. And the cop goes, I understand. That's the funniest shit I ever seen. My dad's laughing. My dad goes, oh, son. He's clapping. My mom's swinging and smiling. I mean, the principal's just dumbfounded. He's writing up demerits in my book as I'm looking. I was like, look, Mother, I'm so sorry. So I started to do comedy right there in the office. It was the best stage I ever had in my life until I got in the car. Mom just whooped the shit out of me. Dad's laughing. All right, he's had enough. He's had enough. Do it again, son. Mom, stop. Now I'm screaming at my mom. And it's making her fired up. Now, Mom's in the passenger seat. If you're an Italian Irish kid in the back seat, you're going to get hit. You sit directly behind the person that's trying to hit you. You don't go in it. So she's swinging like this and trying to get me on bed. And stop it, Mother, stop. I'm going to call DCF. And my mom's going nuts. So I get suspended for 15 days. Out of school, another vacation. Dad's taking me for ice cream. I did prank calls with Dad. It was one of the biggest bonding moments of me and my dad's life. I get back to school.
That's a look at Jersey parents.
Oh, it is.
My son's the baddest prankster, and let's take him out to dinner. He got suspended for 2 weeks. Man. This is fantastic. What a great son.
Yeah, That's it. We were so proud. And we're at the ice
Let's
cream
have a
parlor.
beer.
Yeah, we smoked a cigar. He let me have one hit of a cigar, Cohiba, a Monte Cristo or Cohiba. I remember we were at this guy, Ross says, but that's it. Hey, they used my dad smoking cigars at Ross, and I'm doing voices and prank calls. He says, I'm looking at the cigars, and they look cool. You know, they got these guys, Italian guys, standing with a. I say, he goes, you want to try it? I said, yeah. He goes, go ahead, here. I couldn't do a voice for a week. So I get back to school. After 15 days suspension, everybody knows the story. All my friends are coming up, dude, do the voice, do the voice. I'm doing voices. I'm learning. I can do other voices. I'm like, wow, this is cool. And then it hits me. One of my buddies, hey, bro, I'm failing miserably. Can you call my mom from the payphone and act like Mrs. Ball, our science teacher or our math teacher? I'm like, yeah, I guess I could do that. Well, hold on, $10. Okay, man, yeah, do it here. So we call his mom. The lady said, hello. Hi, Mrs. Miller, how are you? It's Virginia Ball, your son's math teacher. Oh, hi, is he in trouble? No, total opposite. He is doing wonderful. I mean, your son is a pleasure to have in class, but he's got an F on his report card. It's not about the report card. It's about what I say. And don't worry, at the end of the day, he is going to pass. Oh, that's great on my son. Okay. All right. Just make sure you let him know I called. Bye. $10. Man, every day I'm calling kids' parents. It got to be an epidemic. Nobody knew what was happening. And the damn principal didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Now, how old are you at this time?
Oh, man, I was 16.
16 years old. So he's racketeering already at 16.
You know, it was in there.
Got a little ring going on over there.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
You got people selling drugs. You got people doing bad things. What are you selling?
I'm
Voices.
slinging voices, yeah. Slinging A's and report card grades.
Hey, listen, I need you to call the president. Well, that's more than $10.
There you go. That's what was happening. Hold on, forgive
let's
me. I'm
do this,
trying
though.
to get this on.
So-
I want to share it on the page. For some reason, it wasn't popping up, my brother.
So you find out at a very young age that you got this talent of slinging voices, let's say, all right?
Yeah.
You could do your mom, you do your grandma, you do your father, you start changing your voice, this, that, and the other thing. You graduate high school.
Yeah, well, like
And then what?
sort of GED. You know, I got the good
But tell us
education.
about how you eventually started using your voice for something that was really, really good.
Well, there was a lot of really bad in between in that interim. You know what I mean? Like hi, this is Maria from Bank of America. Do you have a PIN number? You know, that kind of stuff went on too. And it was, you know, hey, we won't talk about that. I'm still facing the charges. No, I'm just kidding. But
Hey, I'm doing community service
You
myself. What do
already
you
know.
think this show's all about? I got nothing to do.
That's it, man. Well, what happened is I did 4 years in prison for possession charges. Okay. I was highly addicted to, I dated a doctor, and that, well, it helped things at the time, but it didn't help things afterwards. The doctor that I dated.
Oh, wait a minute. Now let's rewind a little bit. You went from slinging voices to dating a doctor.
Taking pills. Go figure. The life of a comedian, right?
What comes up after throwing voices? Well, pills.
Then I killed somebody.
Leave that for me.
Yeah, that's definitely over.
I never killed anybody.
It didn't
I
deserve
had
it.
somebody do it.
There you go.
All right, so
He ain't kidding, folks.
we're laughing here, but it's a serious
It's
subject
very
matter
serious,
now.
yeah.
You started doing some things that you became addicted to.
Yeah, man. I was.
What was that?
Man, I was taking opiates. I was taking Percocets, Roxycodones, Oxycontins, Darvocets, this set, that set, every kind of set except for, a healthy set of anything. And, it was every day. I dated a doctor. The doctor would hand me this and hand me that and hand me this. I'd be fighting in the octagons and the backyard brawls and all that stuff because I had a nice little set of, years where I did martial arts and stuff. And, man, after
I was
a
going
while,
to say, when you came in the door, I'm like, this guy's in shape.
yeah, but we're trying to
Because you
be.
were talking
Now
about-
I am. Now I am, Mike, because I got rid of the pills and all that. But after being addicted for over 20 years.
20
over 20
years?
years, brother. Yeah, I'm talking at age 20, I was doing, cocaine and pills, and it didn't matter what it was. I was in every casino gambling at age 20, 19. I was in the entertainment industry then in radio. And it just came with the surface. You know how the entertainment life is, if anything, Mike.
Well, yeah.
And things are handed to you. So, and it's nobody's fault but my own. And I
think
take
about show
accountability.
business in a way. Sometimes you get things handed to you, but then it gets taken away from you, and then you look for it.
Oh man.
And it's a very, very difficult business, even being in the comedy world, because now in the comedy world, everybody's saying, well, you can't say that. That's offensive.
Oh,
Don't talk like that. You're like, well, come on, man.
What are you
It's
supposed
just a
to
joke. Relax.
do?
We're
And
having
if you
some
can't
fun.
laugh, you can't laugh. Here, wait, let me get this link because I'm trying to sell it.
Shout out to Broken Liver Club. How you guys doing, man? Thank you so much for everything that you do for me. And a nice big shout out to our sponsor, Locatelli Cheese, for cutting the cheese.
Yeah, they literally
always,
do.
always making us happy and laugh. We're having a lot of fun with Mr. Shane Coyle.
Yeah, Shane Coyle, Eddie,
Shane
we'll call
Coyle.
it. Spino gave me a
With
new
a
name.
Tokyo shirt.
Yeah, I'm an Italian, Irish, and well,
He should actually
young
represent
boy.
some kind of clone. You have no idea how good this man smells.
Yeah, thank you, brother, for
I'm
real.
from the 80s. I know Drug Noir, and that's that.
Yeah, you drink That's it, but what about Cool Water? That's a good one, too. Cool Water, David off Musk.
Cool Water.
Yeah, the Cool Water.
What was his name? David Off.
David off.
David. He had a bunch of different colognes.
David fell off or whatever. But, you know, Aramis, that was a good one back then. And my
Yeah.
dad loved the Aramis.
Aramis. Oh, my
You know?
dad used to drink, used to wear Paco Rabanne. It smelled like shit. Remember that Paco
Yeah,
Rabanne?
God, man, Paco, they could
Canoe.
smell like Paco, man.
They had canoe, and the guy was going by in a canoe. Get out of the canoe.
Did you ever see the one back in the day? It was like a cigar. It looked like it was being its cologne in a cigar, like a cigar holder. It was
I can't think of what
it
that was.
I don't know what the hell it was, man. But it was weird. Here, there we go. Now I can share it. There we go.
All right, so we're talking with him over here, Mr. Shane, and he's telling us how he went from comedy to getting in trouble in school because he could throw his voice and become somebody else, and then a drug addiction set in.
Yeah, and it hit so hard.
20
because
years is a
20
very,
years
very
of
long
being
time.
addicted and being on opiates. Big shout out to Snoop in the building. Hey, Snoop, how you doing?
Hey, Snoop, what are you doing?
Hell yeah. And Brandy Powers
Hey, Brandy.
and Lori. And now look how much so
See, that's what happens. There's tons of people. Look to the left.
yeah.
Hi, Mary. Hey, Joe. Hey,
Billy, Frank,
and now
Bob.
I see Joey and Bobby and Frankie and
Reading
George.
rainbows. So
Romper room.
oh God,
We're
man.
showing our age.
Oh man, you ain't kidding.
Romper room. Those people were on drugs.
Oh God, you ain't kidding. And I see this one. and
I see this and I
one.
see
Shut
that.
up, I see you.
That's called marijuana.
LSD.
We used to watch Puff and stuff, and he played the flute. What's
Up
that
as
tell
a
you?
dragon, right?
Yeah, well, hey.
Holy shit, man. I'll tell you what. And then, you know, when the addiction started happening, it wasn't to me an addiction. In fact, anybody that was a drug addict to me was a dirtbag.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm snorting Oxycontin off the back of bathroom stalls and stuff like that in restaurant bathrooms and 7-Eleven bathrooms. It didn't matter. And I'm doing it to an excess of 20 to 30 pills a day. Now
Wow.
we're talking 30 milligram, 80 milligram Oxycontins, oxycodones. And it just got to the point where I didn't realize the look of my own. I didn't recognize the look of my own eyes in the mirror, man. Like I would look in the mirror and not care either, and I would think I looked good. I was wearing like Idros Ramazanti open collar suits with no shirt underneath with a gold chain on. I mean, real douchebag
You have
shit.
the look.
Yeah, and I thought I looked good, but in all actuality, it was the worst moments of my life, the worst years of my life, and I was never in active recovery. I went to prison for drugs. I had possession charges. Went to prison for 4 years in upstate New York, not New York. I'm sorry, upstate in Florida, the Panhandle, and did 4 years, day for day, solid on my back in a concrete slab behind the razor wire and the steel bars, and that wasn't enough to keep me sober, Mike. Like while I was in there, 4 years clean, not a single
now,
pill.
there's gonna be like so many people going to ask that question, right?
Yeah.
You're in jail. You got to do 4 years. You know you're going to be in there for 4 years or 2 years or wherever it's going to be. Weren't you petrified? Then you say to yourself, man, how did it get so bad? How am I going to get out of here? And when I do get out of here, I'm going on a straight now. I could never let this happen again.
I said it every day. And you know what? I only said it to those that love the people that love me, my mother, my father, my brothers, I said it to everybody that loved me because that's what they wanted to hear. And I had no choice but to be clean. Now, yeah, you could get drugs in prison, but they're coming out of somebody's ass and you're snorting them and you just don't want to do that kind of drugs. I mean, you know, not that it's any better without that happening, but after 4 years of being locked down, 78 days in a hole, pitch black, 24 hours a day, having your food literally thrown in at you, you figure that would be enough to keep you clean. Well, the whole time I'm in there, you're around the worst of the worst. And this is people, places, and things. And this is so true, and it rings so true in recovery. People, places, and things are such a big, big part of where you go, what you do. So I'm in prison with razor wire. I've got guards that are talking to me like shit because at that time, that's all you were is a number. And you've got other inmates that are talking to you about doing this drug and that drug, and you're telling war stories every day. You're not thinking about being clean. Don't get me wrong. When you're on your back, I cried many nights. Many nights I cried myself to sleep thinking of my kids, dry tears. But it was like, man, the second I got out of prison, Mike, I wasn't in there doing step work with the 12 steps like I am now. I wasn't in there reading the different stories and stuff. I was just in there waiting to get out so I could do whatever I wanted again. And it became that lack of freedom and the taking everything for granted that hit me and bit me right in the ass as soon as I got out. Because literally when I say the day that I got out, I was looking for a dealer already to get some Percocets or painkillers. Because now, and I was in shape, But man, so quickly that pulled away from me. The muscles sunk in, the eye sockets started coming in. And it was like, man, everybody in my family fought with me tooth and nail. My brothers, my poor brothers, man. My poor father at the time was, you know, he had a stroke and he was still paralyzed. But my dad would take me in there and tell me come in the room, and he would sit me down and talk to me. Some of the best talks I've ever had with my dad were the ones that I only got to listen to my dad. You know what I mean? And I was high during a lot of them and denying. And now my father speaks to me on a daily basis through my heart and through my Lord. You know what I mean? And he does, and he speaks to me. And it was like finally, man, after many nights falling asleep on the freaking middle of the kitchen, falling asleep in my car, going live, I created this predator hunting movement out of toxicity, just crazy adrenaline rushes and shit. And it was like, man, you know what? I didn't make the decision to just go to rehab. It was an intervention with my family. And they said, look, man, get out of our lives now or get into rehab. And it was like, you know what, Mike? I love my family. I love my, my kids unbelievably. And I went to rehab, and I went to Recovery Unplugged in Lake Worth, Florida. And they implement spirituality and they implement music. Every bit of music. Steven Tyler's a major player in it. You know what I mean? Like Recovery Unplugged in Lake Worth, Florida saved my life. But I put in the work to do it too. And it's like, man, fresh out of that, while being away in Recovery Unplugged, I lost everything. Social media wise, when I say lost everything, I stopped hunting predators and stopped doing it. And when I got out, man, everything started falling into place. A couple days before I was even done with rehab, I got the messages from the Dr. Phil show and everything. And they let me have my phone that day, just one day. Like, hey, you could call your family and tell them you're almost done. In 3 days, you're done. I look at the phone and there's Dr. Phil's producer, my buddy Anthony Green messaging me. I got, all kinds of people. And they're like, yo, man, you're going on this show. You got to call this producer. I called the producer. They flew me out that fucking day, bro. That day I had to leave rehab 3 days early, but it was the barbecue and the family weekend, which my family wasn't making it anyway. And it was just, my therapy was all done. I did what I had to do in rehab and I successfully completed it. And here I am, man, 39 days clean. I think 39 days clean.
All right.
Yeah, man. And it's like, it's amazing, bro. 39 days clean. And I've never had such a mental, strength and stronghold on myself the way I do now, man.
Well, we're all really proud of you. You got a lot of people writing into the show right now saying how proud they are of you, and they got you back and they're wishing good things for you. So you went from making people laugh and getting yourself in trouble in high school, and then you did 4 years, and now you're in recovery. But tell us the story about how you're going after these predators, taking your voices and going from what was funny to doing something that's seriously risky, hard to do. And dangerous. It's dangerous.
Unbelievably.
So how did this happen that you actually explain actually what it is that you do and how you got involved? Like who came to you and said,
absolutely,
hey, listen, could you help us catch some predators? We all know the TV show To Catch a Predator.
We got Chris
Hansen. Great show with Chris Hansen. And you watched the guy come in the room and
he's butt naked, coming to the door.
Horrible.
Chris Hansen.
Horrible.
Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. Have a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah. Now you obviously, he says you obviously have been writing to this person who doesn't exist. It's just some actor in the other room. And this guy comes in and says, oh, no, I wasn't going to do anything. I came here to have lunch. And we all know it's a bunch of bullshit, but he nails them. They go outside the house and the cops there and they throw them out. Okay, so now you're not the person in the other room, but a voice of doing the same type of thing. How'd that happen?
What I did was I started, the UK, they've been doing it for years. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, you didn't create it, the UK. And I don't give a shit. I didn't create it, but I damn sure blew it up on Facebook in the United States. I'm responsible for that 100%. And then all these other teams that came after me took it over and started doing the same thing, doing a great job with it. Some people messed up, but we all mess up. I've even messed up a few. I think I got the wrong guy once or twice, but he don't care, right? No, I'm just kidding. It was prank calling at first. I was doing prank calls on Craigslist, and I'm calling these guys that are trying to find girls. It's just regular perverts, you know what I mean? And, or regular men, whatever.
Just regular perverts.
Regular.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Just regular ones, Every once in a while, it was an excessive one.
It was like a half a pervert.
Like a regular. I'm just a regular pervert.
There you go.
What's a normal pervert?
A normal pervert, there's a difference. The disgusting pervert, a normal pervert, and a regular pervert like us. No, I'm just kidding. No, but, I'm calling these guys and they're looking for girls, and
Hey, sweetie, how are you? It's Jennifer Delia. I saw you were looking for girls.
Oh yeah, sweetheart. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm 14.
Click. And they would hang up, but a lot of them. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's okay. And it started resonating in my head, like, yo, this sick bastard just said it's okay. Wait a minute. Oh, that's a child predator. So I still didn't act on it. Didn't go meeting the perverts or nothing like that. It was one day my daughter's phone is ringing at 1:30 in the morning. Now I'm fresh out of prison. Mind you, not fresh out, maybe like a year out of prison. And what was it, 2.5, almost 3 years ago, we got this thing going. So I'm out of prison. I'm jacked up, I'm still high, getting high and doing stuff, but I still had some of my muscle from non-deterioration of the drugs yet. And all of a sudden, my daughter's phone's ringing at 1:30 in the morning. And it's like, man, I'm looking at it. And it's one of these social media applications. I think it was Snapchat or Kik, one of the two. And it's some 13-year-old kid's profile, but it just looks like bullshit. The questions that he's asking, what's your astrological sign? What 11, 12, 13-year-old kids asking, oh, hey, what's your astrological sign? Get that right there, right then and there. Like, come on, man.
Right.
So it got to be
reality
too much.
set in. It's happening to your daughter.
Yeah, and it was like, okay. My brother said, hey, man, answer it in one of your voices. I'm like, oh, good idea. You know what? I ripped off 30 different banks with the voice. I might as well save my kid, too. So I pick it up. It's ringing. And I had to drop it down real low because my daughter's young at the time.
Hello. Hey, what's up?
And it's a guy's voice, and it's just that voice that I just showed you. That was actually his voice. Hey, sweetheart, tell me how you are. Do you like older men, or do you ever sneak out? And he had an accent like this. Long story short, it turns out to be a child predator who gets the street wiped with, I paint the street with his head when we meet up at the Publix. And it's not live on Facebook. It's not in any kind of show. It was just literally a father going after a scumbag that was preying on his daughter. Now, I get home and I'm thinking to myself, the perverts on Craigslist, I'm pranking them and they're saying they'd get with a 14-year-old. This scumbag in my own house preying on my daughter, and he's local and he came to meet my child, thinking if it's happening to my kid and it's so fluent, I can only imagine what would happen if I placed an ad on social media, like the UK does and this and that. And it was like, you know what? I got a lot of work to do. Let's try it. Boom, we place an ad. 14-year-old female home alone cutting school today. Man, no sooner did I put that ad out, 200-300 responses, all local guys and this and that. And it was like, holy shit, man. So I put together a badass team. I had Brandy Powers, had LB Creek King, had Anna, had, Marnie, Chris. I mean, the whole
so
people
you,
that still.
You put together the crew yourself?
Yeah, hell yeah.
This wasn't somebody came to get you. This is something you did.
Yep. And I handpicked.
It's almost like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, bro. And I tell you what, and that's what we're trying to do. And in fact, without me giving away too much, I will be taking child predators off the streets 100%. And the next bust that I do, they are getting taken off the streets, as long as they're guilty, presumably. So, and nobody knows about it yet, and I can't speak on details, but I will promise everybody, salute, that I didn't leave the movement. The movement got put on hold, and now the movement's about to blow up 10 times bigger and 10 times better than it ever was. And I will be taking child predators 100% off the streets, not just exposing them and then saying goodbye, catch and release stuff. No. But
okay, so there's the circle that we were looking for. You come on the show, you talk about how you started being funny when you were younger.
Hell yeah.
And that funny stuff started to get you in a little bit of trouble. And that trouble took you down to some addictions.
Yeah.
That addiction took you to even more trouble. You ended up doing a prison term. You come out of prison for the reasons being that happened to you. You couldn't beat the addiction.
Yeah.
And it kept on going, got you in even more trouble. But somehow, some way, because of someone making a phone call to your daughter or making some kind of advancement to somebody in your family, you said, holy shit, wait a minute.
Let's do this.
And like a father, like I would be,
hell yeah.
I would go chasing somebody down. I'm not calling the cops. I'm going myself. I'm going to take care of this.
Hell yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who think like that, and they think people who think like that shouldn't think like that. Bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody ever mess with anybody in my family, there's baseball bats all around this house.
There is.
We're going to go get them ourselves. I'm not waiting for a cop. I'm not waiting for the talk show. I'm going to go take care of this myself. I've been saying it for a very long time. Well, here's a man who actually did do it. He took matters into his own hands, even having the record that he had, which could have sent him into even more oblivious trouble just because he was trying to do what's right by his daughter. So he took what he learned, he took those voices, and he made it a positive thing. Started his own little organization, and now he's taking predators off the street.
Hell yeah. And
that is a full circle, incredible story,
Hell
which
yeah.
is probably going to make a great movie someday. I'm sure he's got a book. And if I could grow some hair, I could play
Yeah.
Shane Coyle.
My dad, maybe, my uncle, my brother. Hell yeah.
In a movie called Get the Predators Off the Street with a very cool voice.
You know, it's real important for me to say this too, because, you know, I have a really good, and I say family following, because everybody that follows my pages, I consider them family, because they've seen me at my highest peak, my lowest bottom. I'm so hard, I bounced twice off the bottom, and right where I'm at now, grounded in recovery. It's important for me to just let everybody know that even after I came out of prison and I started doing this predator thing, I still relapsed, because everything that was happening was coming so fast, 100,000 followers in a couple of weeks. And I mean, everything that was happening. And then the haters started, and the trolls. And I thank them today, because a lot of the trolls and the haters out there have given me the strength that I need to be. I mean, I'm Teflon now, man. There's nothing touching me online. It's not, and it's not a troll that I can't give a hug to, and a hater and say, hey, man, you know what? I do appreciate what you did. You did it to a little bit of extreme, you fucking prick, but it's okay. I thank you. Yeah. But I relapsed, and not because of them, but just because I had no tools in my belt to give me recovery the honest way. And these haters, every single one of them, would call me out on, you know, you're high as a kite, and I would deny them and tell them, F you, yeah, go ahead, screw you, Snoop and CJ. And these guys are some of my damn good friends now, because you know what? Everything that they pointed out was true. Everything that they were saying, not everything, but I mean, and it got to the point where it's like, holy shit, man. So I gave up. I got hit by a child predator in a car, and it was like, man, I need to just get myself back on solid ground. And my family came down hard like a ton of bricks. My little ones, you know, I'm doing everything that it takes now. After Recovery Unplugged and getting into rehab, man, I'm 38 days clean now. You know, August 6th, 38 days clean right now. And I feel unstoppable, man. And it's not, oh, he's on the pink cloud. Well, if I am, then I'll stay on the pink cloud for the rest of my life if I can. You know what I mean?
Well, this is all really great stuff. And, you know, this is the story that a lot of people like to hear, because I know you talk about haters, but you got to remember something. There's always going to be people who don't like people who climb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And once you, then you got your fans. And when you climb, your fans are right behind you. But then all of a sudden, they're going to want to see you fall.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to see you fall. And then when you fall, they're going to cheer. Come on, you can get back up. You can get back up. How many more Rockies can we make?
Yeah, man.
And that's all right.
The truth.
That's all right, because now all of a sudden, here you are, live from my mother's basement with me, Mike Marino. You're on the Dr. Phil show, and you're going to be on Ellen DeGeneres.
Quite a few,
and
ones.
That's coming from some really, really great things. So sometimes you think about this crazy life that you've led.
Man, it's insane.
There's a big man upstairs that's going, all right, listen, that's enough. Now we're going to do something else with you.
Yeah, let him up.
We had some fun, and let's go do what we got to do, and let's do what's right. So now, for the people who are watching right now, obviously there's so many people writing in saying how look at this guy Hank Hoffman, who's writing into the show right now, who actually said, I used to think you were a piece of shit, but now I get the whole new look.
Thank you.
Good
man.
dude.
Yeah,
Thank you, Hank.
Man,
appreciate that. That's really cool. And you got a lot of friends and fans writing in on both Instagram and Facebook right now, and then they're going to be listening to my show on iTunes and all the different podcasts that we got. We're going to give you all that information. But right now, where can we, who are other people other than your fans watching the show, find you?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been doing a lot of refuge recovery, and you go to any NA or AA meeting, chances are you'll see me there, because I'm making that my life. I'm not seeing as many as I want to be, but I'm seeing at least one a day, minimum 4 or 5 a week, which is great. And actually, no, online, not 4 or 5 a week. I was doing one a day. So you can catch me at any NA meeting, and I encourage anybody, if you're in active addiction, man, get to a meeting, because you might hear somebody
Hold on a second, really, I don't want to interrupt you, but you're actually getting an email from another talk show while we have you on this show. Hi, Annette, how are you? It's me, Mike Marino. Love you guys. And Shane would love to be on your show. I'm going to speak for him on this one. One of the greatest talk shows in the tri-state area is the Wise Guys Talk Show. So you know these guys?
I'm already on the lineup.
Well, all right. we got to go down there together. They got a great show, great human beings. They got a big following. And
they got some great cannolis too, man. Last time they gave me a net, I need the cannolis.
Hey, I normally cater my show too. This was last minute.
Oh no, this is great.
We're gonna go out for dinner as soon as we're done. We'll go into town here. We won't let anybody know where we're going. There might be a predator we need to take care of.
Take him out.
We got baseball bats.
Hey, put him in the bathroom.
Yeah. I can't stand looking at him.
It's been great though, man.
But really no, I want to know where we can find you on the internet.
Go to it used to be The Ultimate Decoy. Unfortunately, somebody's got a fake page out there called The Ultimate Decoy. It's not mine. I encourage that person to come forward, and I promise you, I'll put you on the page as an admin. But no, just look up Shane Coyle's Prank Call Mafia, and that's my page. And then there's the Thoughts of Shane Coyle. And if somebody, really my main goal now is to not have too many broad, way far out there goals. I like little small goals now. Like if I could reach one person a day and that person actually twists their thought process to where, like, you know what? I really would like recovery too. Then, man, I succeeded in a daily basis. It used to be, I want to have a predator hunting team in every city, in every state, in America. Well, listen, I'll tell you what, if I could save one kid, just one, for today, I accomplished my goals. And, the comedy aspect of things, sitting next to you, Mike, I got to say, man, it's honestly, bro, it's
hey, I'm having a lot of fun. I can't believe how many people are writing in to talk to you, and you got this many fans.
It's cool, man.
And what we're going to see and what we're going to hope after he goes on Dr. Phil,
Hell
and he
yeah.
goes on Ellen, and he goes on a bunch of different shows,
CJ
he's
Hall,
going to
hell
have
yeah.
his own show on the ID channel.
Yes.
It'll be the continuation of To Catch a Predator with Shane Coyle.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then he'd come out and be like this, "Hi, I'm Shane Coyle. On today's show, To Catch a Predator." Then all of a sudden you're going to see me walking around going, "Hey."
But Mike's got a baseball bat and he's beating him in the back.
And this is how we
so
took care of him. He didn't hit him with a bat.
He got him
hit
with
him
a
with
wooden
a wooden spoon.
Let me tell you
Live
something.
from my mother's basement with the biggest wooden spoon in the history of
And
wooden
that thing
spoon.
is solid. It's solid.
Yeah.
You
This
know?
hits you in the head. That's it. You're making sauce the rest of your life.
Yeah, marinara, forget about it. But it's been a blessing, man. It has. So you can catch me at Shane Coyle's Prank Call Mafia or the Thoughts of Shane Coyle. And definitely, man, locking arms with you, man. Because honestly, to have you, man, if there's anything that I say, I've known a lot of people and I've met a lot of A-list and celebrities and this and that. Sitting next to you right now, Mike, it's a blessing because you literally are a perfect example of what to do business-wise as well as comedy-wise. Bro, I watched your bit at the Laugh Factory. Oh, God, about the hotels, man. Like the hotel maids, it's 100%. Mike says, he said, hey, look.
Hey.
he said, look, what is it about hotels? And I'm quoting you. I hope you don't mind. But Mike said something like, what is it about hotels? The second you walk out of your room and there's the maid's cart in the hallway, you turn into like Agent 007. You're seeing what you could steal, shampoos and bars. So, bro, that is so true. And that actually, just you sending me that bit taught me so much, man. Like literally, writing wise, Mike, I seen that and I seen how
the truth is always
conversations.
funny.
Yeah, man. And it was like now, I'm getting ready to kill it.
When you're younger and you're struggling and you're staying in a hotel, you're going home with a lot of soaps. I'm taking
I got the
something.
Wire
taking
Sweetgrass
the
Harris Casino. I got
Everybody thinks my last name starts with an H.
Harris. And it's great, man. It's
Hilton.
true. Yeah, that's right. You got to watch
Holiday
that
Inn.
bit, everybody. Let me tell you, man.
My name is Harry.
Yeah, man. And it's amazing, man. Hey, Jesse Howard, what's up, man? Salute. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be on the Wise Guys show tomorrow, guys. Make sure you check it out. The Wise Guys, Freddie and the gang, and that's going to be good because I haven't seen those guys. Last time I flew out here was
a
couple years
world
ago, man. Yeah, and it's good.
What a small world.
It's an honor being here with you, man. Honestly, Mike, and I'll tell you.
Tell us about when you're going to air on Dr. Phil.
Okay, now that's the thing that I have I don't want to say an exact date in my head. I'm not allowed to say that only because they have like certain things in protocol I got to follow contract wise and shit like that. All I could say is that it's coming up. It's not coming up this week. It's going to come up next month or so, before the end of next month. Let's just put it that way.
Fantastic.
And I'm probably breaking all kinds of contract, but they don't give a fuck, man.
All
I'm
right.
talking about it. And, and the other
It's
one
in the
is
basement. Nobody can hear us.
Yeah, and if they do, we shut them up and put them in the bathroom.
I got the spoon.
And this is cool because listen, if you guys check Mike out on his Instagram. Now, Mike's Instagram has got a shitload of followers on there, and honestly, it is freaking. Oh, Mean Street Tattoos in the house, man. Hey, let me tell you something. All this tattoo work I got, they didn't do it, or else it'd look good. You got the gang symbols. I see that. Oh, those are scars, Mikey. Damn. But
Long time ago, when I was first started performing in Los Angeles, I was doing some really bad neighborhoods, but you want to get stage time.
Hell yeah.
So I started cracking jokes in the hood, and I was in Compton, and we were in the downtown LA and a lot of dark areas, let's say. But a lot of the comedians were doing jokes about the gangs, the Bloods and the Crips. So I went on stage one night and I said, I'm in the gang for the white people. I'm in the Sam's Club. And And I said, I got coupons. You don't want to mess with me. I'll cut a price in half. That's how I roll.
No, bro, that's fucking great.
And they were
man.
just laughing because the truth is always funny.
Yeah.
And then I said I got confused about the finger signs. They were like Bloods and Crips, and their fingers were like this. And then I went home and visited my family. My grandmother got arthritis. I'm like, shit, Grandma, you a Blood or a Crip? She said I'm a Cripples.
Oh God, Mike. See, that's the shit I'm talking about. People, you see this? And you know that I'm quick-witted and shit, but to be able to just throw this shit out like that, it's a blessing, man. Being dead sober, 100% sober is gonna really help out massively, man.
Well, we're going to be doing some shows together.
Hell yeah, man.
We're going to stay in touch.
Hell
we're going to
yeah.
see what's going on in his life. We're going to have him back on the show. We're going to listen and laugh and watch him on the Wise Guy show tomorrow, because we all air on DDV Radio every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. You could also listen to this show as it repeats again on Italian American Radio.
Yes.
We got to get going. We got to end this show. I got to say, this is one of the most interesting, funniest, silliest, craziest, saddest
It's gonna get
comeback
better.
stories.
Hell yeah.
And we got some party gifts for Shane. He's going to go home with
Hell
a couple
yeah,
of baseball bats.
That's beautiful. He's got a nice one upstairs.
He might
Got my
need some
name on it. It's
protection.
great.
He needs to have
Hell
a
yeah.
show like
I'm telling you,
Dog
man.
the Bounty Hunter.
Bro, and that's the thing. We're trying to get legislation. And to everybody that follows me, when I tell you all that it's not over yet, just trust when I say it's not over yet. And I will be taking predators off the streets rather than just exposing them. And every one of the hunters out there that have followed my footsteps and followed my pages and started their own groups, you guys are going to be involved as well. I promise you. Just keep your heads clear. If you're in active addiction, get the hell out of active addiction and get yourself an active recovery. Get yourself into one of the rooms, into a meeting, and get yourself around good, solid people, man, like Mike. You know what I mean? Solid as hell, man, for real. and more importantly, man, look at yourself in the mirror. Realize you are probably the best person you've ever met in your life, and you need to really love yourself. It took me a long time, well, really 30-something days, but to learn how to really love myself, and that is the biggest component in helping and creating my my recovery. It really is. Carrie Ann, how you doing, girl? Ricardo Torres, how the hell you doing, man? You know, it's crazy, man, and it's great. And this is honestly an honor. Like, there's so many things to come, and you guys share the shit out of Mike's stuff. I got an Instagram too. It's
share the shit out of this shit.
Share this fucking guy, huh?
Nothing like a bunch of East Coast people. Share the shit out of this shit.
That's some good shit.
Shit.
Shit is just shit.
Would you share the shit out of this shit? Boy, am I hungry for some shit. You know
what's
your
this
shit.
shit? That's
I know
good
your
shit.
This is a shitty show.
What the fuck? Oh yeah.
Hey,
You know,
listen, we got to get going. I love his testimonial to
Hell yeah,
everybody, how
man.
he just ended this show.
Yes.
We usually
Gina
end
Beck.
on a nice little note like that, which is a great
Hell
note.
yeah, man.
Usually
Correct.
I end my show by saying the same thing, all right? So I want everybody to just go to MikeMarino.net, subscribe to my channel, watch where I'm going, what I'm doing, come and see a live show. I have
yeah.
great guests on my show, obviously, like the legend over here, Shane Coyle.
Oh, you're so sweet.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, just fucking off. So,
Trying to end the show. I feel like
I
if we
love
just
you, man.
started all over again. Hi, everybody.
No, there's a good one. You got a
So,
Hey, real quick,
Yeah, but you got like a lisp in there. I don't even know how you got.
well, sometimes I can put the lisp in, or sometimes you just leave it out. Well, sometimes, Puppy, you can talk like this and you.
Hey, HopeShedsLight.org. Definitely. Big shout out to Heather. It's a place that's doing a lot of recovery, a lot of meetings, and a lot of really just life-changing events. So HopeShedsLight.org. Check out my sister Heather, and check us out, man. Mikey, damn, man, it's an honor.
Come
bro.
see a
For real,
show.
'cause
Come hang out with us.
Hell yeah, man.
Let's get going. Hey,
This is
listen, let's
good.
make America Italian again.
Amen.
You don't know none, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my broadcasts? By always saying the same thing, you know?
Oh, go ahead.
I say, don't take no shit from nobody. Let's say it
Yeah.
together. Ready? Don't take no shit from nobody. Good night.
Hell yeah, man. Mikey, I tell you, we're going to make some moves,
Way up
man.
on goal. I can't shut off the screen. There we go. Hey, folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.